welcome back everyone to another exciting episode here of Cooking with Bradley on Life Choices. I'm your host Bradley David, and we've been lucky enough to collaborate once again with Alexandria here, Planted Posh, and today we are going to be doing another vegan recipe, which is
a vegan eggnog.
All right.
Super simple. All you need is a blender and your ingredients, and then you're good to go to have a really good, yummy Christmas beverage. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is just get some plant-based milk. I like almond milk. This is one of my favorites because it only has 2 ingredients. Always check your plant-based milk because they have a lot of stuff in it. So this is my favorite because it's only got 2 ingredients. So first we're just gonna do 3 cups of our milk.
And this is almond milk?
This is almond milk.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna put it in the blender. Make sure it's nice and cold already. I'm just gonna get another cup in there. And now when it comes to eggnog, we want that like creamy taste along with like spices that you would get with regular eggnog, but obviously it's not gonna be dairy. So you're gonna love it anyway, and even if you like eggnog, you've gotta try this one. To make it sweet, we're not gonna add any sugar. We're gonna be as healthy as possible for here. So we're actually gonna use some soaked dates.
And the reason for soaking the dates would be?
To make them soft so that they don't break your blender.
Perfect.
That is the most important thing when it comes to dates. They can be a little chewy like taffy, and you don't want them to break your very expensive equipment. So what we're gonna do is soak them for about 5 to 6 minutes or so, just until they're like just soft enough that you can pull the seed out.
And make sure you realize that when you buy your dates, sometimes you can buy pitted dates, but if you're buying the ones that have the pits in them, then take the time to take them out before putting them in your blender.
That's extremely important. All right, so once we put all 3 in, we're going to add that super creamy part to the recipe, which is going to be our coconut milk. So we're going to use full fat or heavy cream, heavy whipping cream.
Coconut cream, okay.
Yeah, either or is fine. If you want it super thick, use heavy cream-based coconut milk. If you want it a little bit lighter, just use regular coconut milk, but try to get the full fat one.
So make sure when you're in the grocery store, because I have done this mistake before when I'm making, let's say, a curry, is that on the tin itself is identical except for the word coconut cream, coconut milk. So the coconut cream is gonna have a little more thickness to it, where the coconut milk will be a more thin liquid.
Exactly. And I love coconut milk because it's actually a really good fat. A lot of us are a little nervous about adding fat into our diet, but you don't have to worry about that with coconut milk because it's actually a really good healthy fat. So we're gonna do a half of a can. I'm gonna try not to spill it. And those lumps that you see coming out of there might be a little crazy alarming, but it's actually the coconut oil that clumps when it's kind of cold, so don't let that alarm you. So just a half a can, and then we're gonna add in all of the flavors to it. So,
and these would be the seasonings or flavors that would be very traditional in the Christmas cooking,
exactly.
Being that this is a Christmas recipe for us to enjoy of a vegan style.
Exactly. Here it is. Exactly the same thing that you would put in, like, it's almost like kind of chai-like if you've had that, but this is gonna be clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. You can also be super simple and just get like an apple pie spice or a pumpkin spice mix from the store if you don't want to buy all individuals. But this is super simple if you already have them at home like I do.
And so this is obviously a very versatile eggnog option for vegan because you can adjust it to the seasonings you like. I'm not harshly enthusiastic about nutmeg, but it is a very popular item, especially in the Christmas season. So I'm always willing to try it, but you can always choose to have a little more, a little less of any of these spices that we're throwing into the mix.
Yes, and don't worry if we're going too fast because all the recipes, ingredients are going to be in the bottom in the description. Oh, and then I can't forget the vanilla.
And is this an organic vanilla extract,
This
or is it just a
is
regular?
pure vanilla extract. This one is not Oh, this one is, yes, this one's organic.
Wonderful.
I always got to check the label, so that's an important tip too.
And one thing I've noticed when doing any baking or any recipes with vanilla extract is that if you do go a bit too much, I wouldn't be too upset with it because it's just going to continuously add the vanilla flavor. Where if you're dealing with other extracts, you do have to be more careful because if you put too much of another extract, let's say like a banana extract or an orange extract, if you put too much of that in, it actually starts tasting very artificial.
Yes, I agree with you there. I haven't had any trouble, luckily, with vanilla, but you're right. The other ones can taste a little.
And so this blender here that we're using is from?
This is from Omega.
Okay.
I'm really excited to use this today. So we're gonna have this blending up. They have great juicers as well, but this is their blending. So let's get this going. I'm gonna try to
And this
keep
lid
around
is on because I got to be honest, I've done this before with different mixers. There we go. You heard the click.
It's on now.
It literally sucks if you turn one of these bad boys on because they have a large motor in here and everything comes out and you're a mess, your kitchen's a mess, and then you have to start all over. So we've definitely secured
always
the lid.
make sure that it's on. I like that a lot of the newer versions of the blenders have like gauges where even if it's not on, it won't turn on. But you never know when you're just starting out. So we're just gonna hit the start button. All blended. Now let me get all the ingredients out of the way.
So before we pour it, I just want to point this out. So not everyone at home is an avid baker or cook or what have you. And so they might get scared because most of these mixers have, you know, like a plunger in it, and it's literally designed so that when you put it in here, it's not going to touch the blades. So don't worry about that if it's in here. It is literally there to help you kind of mix the ingredients. When you do thicker juicing or smoothies, sometimes you actually need this spoon inside of it to spin it around to help the blade itself get going. And once it's going, then you can, you know, obviously you can leave it or remove it, and you don't have to worry about the ingredients splashing out of the mixer.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. So that is the first thing. You can also put in and make it an adult beverage as well if you want to put in like bourbon or whiskey or whatever your kind of favorite alcoholic beverage is.
Whiskey's always a good idea.
It's always
Always a good
I
idea.
guess always
Just
a good
say
idea.
whiskey's a good idea.
Or if you obviously have kids or you want to make it family friendly.
Don't give the kids the whiskey. Like,
Don't do
even
that.
if you're trying to get them to go to sleep early, don't give them the whiskey.
Don't do that. That would be naughty. You will not make you will not make Santa's Christmas list if you do that, right?
Somebody might call a department on you if you do that move.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. So
I do typically like during the season is I like adding Baileys to drinks of this nature. I find them to be you know, just that level up type.
I love
Eggnog
it.
is traditionally with rum, I think.
Oh, with rum? Oh, you can add rum in there.
So Brooks likes rum in her eggnog.
You can throw the rum in there. All right, let's get.
And of course, we're
off
really,
of
really
it.
close to my favorite part of every cooking video, as I've mentioned before, which is where we get to taste it. But there is no whiskey in today's, so.
Nope. So all we're gonna do is add in just a little bit.
What do we got here?
This is just some of the leftover cinnamon, and all we're
Okay.
gonna do is sprinkle it on top, because obviously a big part of recipes is making it look nice so everyone can enjoy it. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit on top, and then you have something that you can kind of serve. Okay, I might have put a little too much in yours, but you know what? Hey, it's the holidays.
Good thing I'm a fan of cinnamon, so we're not worried
We're
about
just gonna
this.
enjoy it anyway. That's what it's supposed to be about. So cheers and
Cheers.
enjoy.
Okay, I like it. It's
You
good.
can mess with it?
Yeah.
The
It does
vegan
have
eggnog?
the sweetness from the dates, which is nice, and obviously mine has the extra cinnamon, so it's very seasonal.
And then obviously we would chill this before serving, because that's the most important thing. Serving cold eggnog, not
And that would go very fast when your guests show up, and that's like the beginner drink. And then as the night goes on, as you're having one of those adult parties, if you are, that little bit extra of whiskey or Baileys or rum is going to really kind of like liven up the whole party.
absolutely. Everyone's gonna have a good time.
Wonderful. Well, thank you once again, Alexandria, for being on Life Choices with us, collaborating for another Cooking with Bradley. We'd like to thank everyone for joining us this week. Please make sure to subscribe, like us, leave us a comment at the bottom. We will see you next time here on Life Choices. And please take a look at Alexandria's Instagram and her TikTok at Planted Posh. And we'll see you later on. Much love, everyone.
Merry Christmas.